Organising the Naturally Crowned event. It's going okay so far. It's 12:30 and we're all trying to like organise our spots. Absolutely crazy. Going a bit manic, but we'll get there. They've started on the South Club wall as well, which I think is starting to come together slowly but surely, but we'll get there. So I did just want to show an example of different vitamins that you can top yourself up on. Again, we don't always realise that it could be from the inside as to why our hair isn't getting that nutrients. If you do notice that you are putting a lot of topical treatments on your hair that you should feel should be working and it's not, it could be from the inside. So vitamins are always important to take. You can have them from broccoli, from anemia, any low iron, broccoli, spinach, tomatoes, folic acid again. A lot of these raw like ginseng and ginger and stuff is really good to take to fight alopecia. Foods that are rich in zinc as well are all down here. If anyone wants a copy of this presentation, let me know and I can send it to you as well. Pumpkin seeds, lamb, cashews, chickpeas, cocoa powder. There's lots of things that we can take on the inside to make sure that our hair grows nice and long on the outside.
The self-made sister circles are inimitable, impenetrable, bulletproof, shatterproof. And this is what upsets and confuses the world. How can something so age-old last so long, work so well, speak so loudly and in a language so misunderstood but replicated, copied, plagiarized, discredited, mispronounced, rebuilt this, with sweat and spit flying from our wide laughing black women mouths? This sisterhood did not fall into place gracefully.
My journey started with natural hair because I was moving to Mexico City for a year to live and work, and I knew that I wouldn't find a black hairdresser out there, and I have trust issues with that, and I couldn't take my auntie with me, so I was thinking I have to go from, I had my hair relaxed from the age of 10, so obviously I was too young to really understand how to manage my own hair, but it was a decision that I was kind of dropped in, so stepping outside of my comfort zone, as they say.
Natural hairstylists to train people in, natural styling techniques, because like you say, techniques, it's all about techniques and getting it right. So if you think there's an area that you want training in, then let me know. I'll bring those people over to do that training.
Again, this is what today's about, connecting people to people, because we are so important, like people connecting to other people that can help with a situation. Like, you might be walking past them every day and you don't even know. Like, I think connecting the dots between us is really essential for all of us to go together and to connect together, and we're all struggling with the same issues.
Doing this, I'm going to talk to you about how to make a conditioner, what it is not, but also that I was really happy when Jen suggested to Shireen that I do this workshop, because it's very much conditioner in a way. It's very much connected to my journey, not just as a business owner, but to my self-care and my self-love, because how to make a conditioner is how I started. And I never had the intention of having a business. My sisterhood pushed me to say, you can do this. We like, these products. I would give them away as gifts after a while. And in 2016, one of my good friends suggested, why aren't you selling this stuff? And actually gave me money for the products. So I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna try it out for myself. Your hair, right? So our hair is made of protein, keratin. Sometimes it can get little chips in it. What conditioners do normally is they contain ingredients that will kind of temporarily patch up those holes. They don't last for a very long time. So when you see a commercial tells you, oh, it repairs split ends, no, it doesn't. I'd be trimming my hair before I undo my braids, because I know, having had a flat iron on the ends, that some of them are not going to be in the best shape at the end, so they're just going to need to cut it. Now, to increase the nourishing effect. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the heat now. I'm going to make this heat up very quickly because of time, but normally it's just like a slightly slower process. So I'm going to turn the heat way up. And normally what you would do, this is called a heat phase. So your fatty alcohols and all of your oils go in the heat phase, and you melt those. That go, and if anybody wants this, I can send it to you. You have a heat phase, the oils, and then you have a water phase. So you normally heat these separately, and then you combine them. So get that tonight and leave it on that stove. What we're going to do is add in the water directly. Normally you would heat this separately and add it, but because of the situation, we're going to keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. This is water and glycerin. Yeah, just keep going. All right.
It's getting really thick, guys. Almost like mashed potato.
All right. There we go. Now, I also put citric acid in here, which I would put at the very end because it's a regulator, but it's also a way of decreasing the pH of your product. Our hair, by nature, is slightly on the acidic scale, right? So neutral is 7. Our hair is around 4.5 to 5.5 or so. So products within that range are ideal for us. So of everything that we've added, none of it's been particularly acidic. So to the pinch of citric acid, and I do not recommend that you do this without having a pH meter. I know what I'm doing, so I know how much to add. So, and because you need to measure the pH of the product. So that goes in. Pretend that this is down to the proper temperature. Right? Yeah, yeah, it is. It's very much like a cake. So this is like going to be a very nice, like, thick conditioner. And that gets moved in. And that is your conditioner. Wow. So all we now have to do is, I'm going to undo those bottles for me. What we now do is stuff this in like a little, almost like a pastry case. Oh, Jen, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
The scissors, I think I put them in the inside pocket of my suitcase. Yeah. The little mesh part. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Thank you. So this, yeah.
You get quite a lot out of that one pan, don't you? So that,
and it wasn't
that
like
actually,
a whole lot.
it fills 3 bottles, or probably more actually.
Yeah, there's
slightly
a little
more.
bit left in the there's a little bit left in the thing. So, yeah, so whoever wants one of these.
So for me, what it was about is being able to feel comfortable with what I've been given, and so far, you know, so good. I still love having weaves and wigs, and I think that one thing that happens is that people, sometimes there's this whole thing of natural versus not natural. Are you natural if you wear wigs or weaves? Well, yeah, you are, because at the end of the day, your hair needs looking after, regardless of whatever you've got in it. So I think that what we kind of need to, and what I'm going to try and put across in my slides, is just that we shouldn't be made to feel under pressure for our hair. So I'm going to have a little, I'm going to put the, could you put the first one, scenario one. This is going to be quite interactive, so I'm just going to have an open discussion, and obviously I'll give you guys time to soak in what's going on there. Sorry if there's any spelling mistakes, I'm dyslexic, so please point that out. So on the screen we've got Blue Ivory, and I've also put Northwest. I'm not going to tell you why I've put that on there, but I'm going to just ask the question and see what comes up from you guys. So, how does society make us feel about our hair? And then the second one will be, why is one hairstyle more acceptable than another hairstyle? So I'm sure you've all seen these images in the media when they first came out. So I just wanted to start by having an open discussion with you guys, basically. How does society make us feel about our hair? What did you feel when you saw this hair?
How would she know her true identity? So we have to put on a false image, you know, which she would get used to.
Yeah.
And it's not her. So we also leaving her hair, making sure that she recognises who she is, her natural self, her natural being, before she puts on the next man's head.
Yeah, that's it. So actually, you know, we talk about society and we talk about how the media makes us feel, but actually what I found is that, as I say, Black Twitter, everybody ran who was black or of colour to kind of criticise this image. So is that something that, is that ingrained in us, you know?
Well, I definitely think it's ingrained. I feel like, you know, as black people, we have without years of suppression, we have the Willie Limp syndrome issue that is still within us. So instantly, we're quite used in years of suppression that's all within us. So instantly, when we look at that, I think it depends on perception, because I can look at that and be like, well, should I comb my hair? But someone else can look at it and be like, well, it's all the level of consciousness and where you're kind of coming from, depending on how you're going to perceive the picture, I think.
That's it. I mean, quickly, I didn't actually put these two pictures together. This was actually from, you know, when you have like those magazine gossip sites, so they put them together, and I thought that was quite interesting as to why they're comparing the two children. At the end of the day, they both have their own natural hair in their own right, and I just think often in society we are kind of put under pressure, you know, because one looks a certain way, and like the young lady said there, that one looks like she's looked after and the other one looks like she isn't, so I thought that was very interesting.
But if you know about the children, you'll know their cultural backgrounds are different.
That's
so
it,
their hair is going to be different.
So they should never have been put in a picture
So you shouldn't compare them. That's like the whole, it goes against us trying to practice being individuals and seeing ourselves as unique, but society or the media always wants us to compare ourselves to other people, even though they are completely themselves and I am completely myself. So we will never be the same, and we shouldn't ever be used as a measuring stick against another person.
I'm not trying to create a division, but it's like in like the fashion industry, for instance, it's like when it's mixed race models, they want them to have this whole natural hair. But when it came to like a, I don't know, a black model, her hair would always have to be in weave. And also when you're growing up as well, you always see like loads of mixed race kids with their hair out, and it's kind of like, oh, that's cool, they could do that. But then when it comes to different textures, I guess, it's always different. So for me, like when I saw that image, even in terms of like combing and stuff, maybe like that's her texture, and obviously she's going around and that's just how her hair is. So just for observations in terms of even within ourselves, what's acceptable or what the media like perpetrates, even in terms of like comparing them to other levels.
This kind of ties in with what a few people have actually said. So again, this is an open discussion really, but I feel like, I mean, we spoke about it being the year of the woman, and I think what's really good is that something that the media have been doing for years. They have been airbrushing us to have European standards, but I feel that now we are having more celebrities kind of coming to their own and saying, you know what, no, enough is enough. And it's like the tribe stepping forward saying, right, we're not going to buy that magazine, let's boycott it. And you know, have we taken back control? Do you think, you know, what do you think is going on at the moment, and how can we kind of improve what the expectation is, just knowing that, you know what, our hair's good for the hair type that we have?
Of other
ethnicities and colours seeking to copy our style, the styles that historically were not professional, so on. I mean, I'll be honest, the first day I saw a black woman presenting the sports with braids in her hair, I could have done backflips in the living room. Because from a media perspective, and certainly from a corporate point of view, there's definitely been pressures over the years. I know that I've gone to a quote job interview or whatever, flung in the weave and not pulled out the big head until they've given me the job. Like, okay, this is what you got.
I get it, like I get the self-empowerment, I get that, you know, we're natural and to embrace it, but we are more than our hair. We are our spirit. There's so much things that are more important than hair, and so it's unfortunate that a lot of us are hung up on our hair, because to be honest, it's
Not that big of a deal. Yeah.
like, and I feel like once you rise past that, once you get past that,
Yeah.
I think that's where the true love sets in. That's where it is inside.
I have to mention it, but me and my mum get into it, and I think it's a blessing that we went on the
She
panel today.
she did mention it earlier. In case you guys don't know, Kimby is Romani's mom.
And I think God like engineered that, because we go in and we actually have had some very serious arguments. But it's about hair and about being able to, because the other side is express yourself.
Yeah, of course.
And as someone who regularly changes their hair, obviously today it's bright purple, last week goes into twists or plaits or whatever, and it's just how, you know, it's funny how people respond to you, especially in the black sisterhood. And you know, when I have my braids, everyone's like, yeah, ready for the pause, blah blah. And as soon as I put some weave on or something that's a bit more straight, I'm not in the club no more. My black girl card gets taken back. So it's just like, actually, let me just focus on me, because if I accept me, then I don't care who else, what man or what woman wants his woman to only have natural hair and wear and have cocoa butter for makeup. No. There's always one side don't want it this way. One person saying this, your mom says this, your grandma says this. What do you say? What do you think you should look like?
Yeah.
Woo!
Hair history, Shireen. You mentioned the Tignon law from Louisiana in the 1800s. The reason why black women were required to cover their hair is because Louisiana, especially, home of the Knowles sisters' mother, right, had a lot of what we call miscegenation and mixing, which produced what they call octoroons and quadroons, right? So mixed race people who were mostly white, but you know, the U.S. went by the one-drop rule. The reason why they wanted to have women with African blood cover their hair is so that they wouldn't mistake them for white. Because hair was a marker, and still is a marker, of our Africanness. I don't know if you've ever seen the documentary Light Skin. Tatiana Ali appears in that thing, and she is not light-skinned. She is a dark-skinned girl, but she has straight hair. Therefore, equating the straightness of her hair equates it with the privileges afforded to lighter-skinned persons who are closer to white. And therefore, her hair, because of its straightness, is also closer to white, and therefore, she can benefit from some of the privileges of lighter-skinned people. So hair is an important social marker of our Africanness, which is why those women back then had to cover their hair to make sure white men especially wouldn't confuse them for white women, and to distinguish the white women as the superior beings. They were literally marked by the covering of their hair. So it is both important societally. We are seen as our hair in some ways, or a way of identifying our Africanness, and for some people, our subordination, which is why accepting our hair and living within its fullness and all of its diversity is important, as much as we also accept ourselves for ourselves. That's different from letting people on the outside recognize who we are as we recognize ourselves.
Writing, improving your writing habit, but what we're here for today is how to use writing to heal parts of your past that still need healing. And the best way that I do this, or one of my favourite ways that I do this, is thinking about your inner child and thinking about what they need. So what I want, it's going to be like a bit of a strange concept, but the way that I use, the reason why I use this is because it's so easy for us to give advice and information and support to other people, but when it comes to ourselves, we're the last ones to help ourselves. And close your eyes. I'm not going to take nothing. And just close your eyes and imagine your inner child. Think about, when I say inner child, how old is your inner child? Just think about this. How are they sitting? Are they sat upright and confident and alert? Or are they hesitant and scared and timid? How does your inner child, how do they look? How are they presenting? Are they taking care of? What are they wearing? Are they wearing their favourite clothes, or are their clothes not taken care of? Are they cold? Are they hungry? Do they need a hug? What does your inner child look like? I want you to hold that for a moment, and it's going to be different for everybody. Think about, what does your inner child need right now? You are an adult now. You're years ahead. You're wise. You've lived. You've got experience. You've got wisdom now. But that inner child doesn't have yet. They don't know what's coming. And then I want you to think about what words you could give that inner child to give them some comfort, so that they know it's going to be okay. And I'd like you to open your eyes. And if you've got pen and paper, if you've got notes app in your phone, just spend a few minutes writing to your inner child, and start with, dear inner child. And keep in mind the theme of today about what we've been discussing about hair and how you feel about your hair and how society treats you because of your hair. Your inner child needs to hear some words of wisdom from you today, because they don't know what you know now. And that's the message only you can give. So spend maybe a few minutes doing that, and then if we've got time, we'll share. And in terms of inner child, sometimes our inner child speaks up when we're scared. You know, when you have like negative thoughts when you're about to start something new, or you speak to someone about an idea and there's that little voice inside saying, no, I think it's rubbish, maybe you shouldn't try it at all. That's your inner child. And often they're coming from a place of fear, because they want to protect you. But it's always going to be there, so we need to make peace with that inner child and give that inner child some reassurance. So what words can you share with yours?
I think this is the quietest you've all been.
Is there anyone in here who journals? Yeah. This is a really great exercise to do when you're journaling, you know. Because sometimes I think we don't know what we're thinking until we've read it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can ask your inner child, like, what's going on for you now? Why are you making me feel like this?
The lady had me write through this, and it was extremely helpful to me. When we did it in the first instance, a lot of things came out, a lot of pain, hidden pain, things that were not healed, just to do with what people, you know, my upbringing, and I won't go into that. But in dealing with that, I was able to heal my inner child. So now she's actually in a good place, and I know what to say to her.
Aww.
So, hi pretty lady, you are loved. No matter what it looks like, you are loved. Smile, keep holding your head up, because you are loved. God cares about you. God says you are enough. His opinion is all that counts. No matter what they say, you are loved.
Aww.
And I love how you address your inner child. It's that informality, hi pretty lady. Your inner child is not a stranger, that's you. Yeah. That's the part of you that just needs a little bit more love. We've got enough time for one more. Yeah, one more. Yeah, you.
Wow, that was the first time I've ever done this, so forgive me everyone. Yeah, it's quite emotional. Dear inner child, I've been wanting to say this to you for a long time, but just know that you are loved. I see you sitting there alone sometimes thinking, am I liked? Am I loved? And I say yes. You are a special person with gifts that will help the world. Your smile is contagious and your laugh is riveting. Smile more, my beautiful child. Yeah.
And do you see how simple it is? You wrote a few words and you read them out, but these are your words that you need to hear. And words are powerful, and often we hold on to the words that are negative, that are unhelpful, that are unsupportive. But look how powerful your words are, that you can heal that wound. And so, you know, sometimes we can know these things in our heads, but I think it's only when we own it out loud, it's a different experience. And I would encourage you to even record yourself reading your inner child, so when you do face those moments where you are struggling, that you replay it and are reaffirmed in your power and how amazing that you are.
It was so powerful. Facts.
She does. Saying that to her, she actually needs she needs to do it, because the passion that came out in her. Look, there's nothing I could have said after that. It was like, okay, finish now. You know what she meant.
So, I didn't get to record just before the event, but now I have, we're just leaving, basically. The event was an absolute success. I cannot complain. You will see some footage from the actual event. The homemade conditioner segment was my favourite part. And now we're just on the way home. We're going to pick up some food. It took like an hour and 20 minutes to actually get out of the venue. Saying goodbyes and stuff like that to people. Yeah, I'm really happy with how today went. Quite a success. So hope you guys enjoyed the footage from what's there. Finally getting ready for bed. I'm absolutely exhausted, but today was so amazing, like mind-blowing. There was a lady that came all the way from London, took the train from London to Birmingham, came to the event and went all the way back to London again. She didn't even like stay over. Like, that is amazing to me, to know that someone actually put all that effort into coming to the event just to be there, just to be present and sharing an amazing story. I think I've recorded some of her actual story, but I need to get in touch with this lady. Like, I don't have any of her contact details, so I'm going to be searching for the London lady. I'm going to be posting a quick email out to all the attendees to try and find down who this lady was and track her down, because I need her contact details. I'd like to do like a little mini video with her. I don't even know where to start. Like, all of this today was powerful. Annika shared a fantastic segment with her return to your inner self. So you actually write a letter to your younger self to help heal over certain situations that you haven't yet healed over. I don't even know, like, just all of it was just amazing. I think the vendors had a good run as well, so they actually got a few items sold. It was good for me. I sold quite a few items myself. Mind-blowing, guys. I don't even know what else to say. I'm just so taken back by the support and the turnout. The room was full. There was supposed to be 40 people there, and it definitely exceeded 40 people. We had to keep going to get more chairs to actually sit people at the back. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed because I know what's coming. Like, I'm going to be sharing something towards the end of this month that I'm not going to share just yet, but it makes me feel like there's definitely a need in Birmingham for these kind of events that celebrate natural hair, natural beauty and self-love, because there is a direct link between self-love and natural hair, and this event has just reaffirmed that for me. So I will be doing more events that's just like this. Next month is the Gifted Girls event, which will be March the 18th, and International Women's Day dinner, which will be the 9th of March as well. So they're the next two events.